Gentlemen, what's going on? 1247, the great one. It's a great day to be great, man. We're going to get to it, man. We're not going to waste any time. Gentlemen, check this out, man. Me let you guys. It's a great, well, first of all, it's a great day to be great. Like I tell you guys, it's a great day to be great. Be the greatest version of yourselves. And please get your mind off the behind. Feel me? Gentlemen, check this out. Uh, Here's one thing about when people talk about abuse, right? I'm talking from a man's perspective. Listen, gentlemen, the reason why your so-called communitah abuses a lot of the so-called American black man because the communitah doesn't know uh how can I say this? Your communitah, which is the matriarch, the women, doesn't understand what your role is. And since the communitah, which is matriarchal, doesn't understand what your role is, abuse will start to happen. They say when you don't understand the purpose. So I remember when this I used to go to this one church like 13, 14 years ago when I first got here to Maryland. This one pastor in Alabama said, listen, when you don't understand the purpose of something, then abuse is going to follow. So the community doesn't understand the purpose of a man. So this is why the community, which is matriarchal, abuses the so-called men in the so-called community. The community doesn't understand the purpose of a man. It did 50 years ago when back in the 60s, 50s, 40s, of course, but now since the so-called community has turned matriarchal since the 60s, the community does not understand the purpose of a so-called man. This is why you gentlemen are getting abused by the community. I'm not gonna say your community. This is why you're getting abused by the community. I'm not gonna say your community. This is not your community. This is not your community. The community is matriarchal. It has nothing to do with you anymore. But you gentlemen have to understand that the community doesn't understand your worth. Your community doesn't understand your purpose anymore. The community doesn't understand what you're even here for. The community only has one purpose for the so-called American black man, and that's to basically suck you dry. See, now I just got to keep it all the way funky. The community, which is matriarchal, doesn't understand your purpose. And they're not trying to find out your purpose. They don't really care about your purpose. Only thing the community wants from the so-called American black man is everything, is your resources. So this is when the abuse starts to happen in the community. There's no love, there's no respect, there's no nothing. It's just abuse after abuse after abuse. But when as men, you don't want to call it that because I don't want to look like no punk, I don't want to look like no bitch, and this, that, and the third. Gentlemen, you are being abused every single day, and everybody on this platform called Earth sees it. You're being abused. These women don't have a clue what you are here for. Since the so-called the so-called black community has turned matriarch in the last over half a century, these women don't have a they don't understand your purpose. They don't. Grandma understood, great grandma understood, women 5, 6, 7 generations, they understood. But women as of today, they have no idea what your purpose is. And since they don't understand your purpose, this is where abuse comes in. Abuse of the court system, abuse of the child support, the abuse of the alimony, abuse of the law enforcement, just abuse after abuse after abuse, and we're just sitting here taking this abuse because once again we're trying to prove something to women who don't understand who and what you are to them. You gentlemen are getting abused by the so-called matriarch black community. The black community is not your community anymore. I need for you brothers to get that through your mind. The so-called Black community is matriarchal. It is not your community any longer. I need for you gentlemen to get that through your mind and stop saying this is our community. This is not your community. And these women have told you to your face this is not your community. I don't understand why you brothers keep tiptoeing, keep playing these footsie games with these women. These women don't have an understanding of who you are, what you represent. And the thing is, a lot of the so-called matriarch community, the thing is, they don't want to let you go. The so-called matriarch community does not want to let the so-called American black man go, because the thing is, I can't say they because I was saying they don't understand your purposes. They understand what you represent. They understand what you represent. They understand the influence, the impact you have on this planet Earth. They understand that. But instead of cultivating you and propping you up and giving you the submission and things that you desire, so you can be the best version, so you can create and build and do the things that you were designed to do, they rather tear you down. Then they get mad when they see you with a Latina. I don't know what, especially what's going on with Latina thing. I don't know what's going on. I'm seeing all these different videos of why black men are going with Latina women. It's starting to get weird out here, fellas. It's starting to get very weird out here. These your so-called not your so-called, the black matriarch communities now it's trying to get possessive out here now. So now all of a sudden, brothers out here talking to the Latina women. That's a topic of conversation. Is that I don't understand what the problem is. Since you ladies don't understand, are not trying to comply, you're not trying to even try to work with these men. Let these men leave and do what they want to do. But you women don't want to do that. You want your cake and eat it too. You ladies want to go out here and get ran through, but then the so-called good black man needs to be around to take care of you and your kids when you about to hit the wall. So when you about to receive your consequences, then you want you want a so-called good black man to come in and to be Superman. See, this is what I'm saying, gentlemen. When people don't understand the purpose of who you are and what you represent, gentlemen, abuse will always follow. Now, I won't keep telling you, gentlemen, since you are in this so-called Communitah, gentlemen, you are being abused royally. This is what the things that we are going through in this so-called matriarch Communitah is not normal. This is why I tell you, gentlemen, you gotta connect with other groups of people that's outside the so-called Communitah. You gentlemen think all that you going through in the Communitah, this is just normal, and her slapping, punching you, putting you on child support, doing all this wild stuff is normal, gentlemen. It is not normal. The stuff that we are going through with these so-called matriarch Communitah women, this is not normal. No other woman on planet Earth is doing this to her so-called man. Nobody. I've been in all 24 different time zones. Nobody's doing this. Nobody. But in your so-called, well, not in your so-called, but in the so-called matriarch black community, you going through all this abuse for what? But then you brothers out here, you're traveling, you're doing this, you're doing that. And every time it's just, I don't understand how brothers can go out here, get appreciated by other women. You women see the appreciation, but instead of getting your stuff together, you continue the abuse. Then you just amp the abuse up. Then you amp I mean, hell, the brothers out here, I mean, I'm seeing so many things. Brothers out here getting set up to get shot and killed by women. These women are hand in hand with the court systems and alimony. I mean, I already 80% we getting with the so-called these black American women, and they divorcing you damn near at the same 80% you getting married at. So your success rate at marriage in the so-called American Black community is damn near at 0%. It's between 0 and 10%, which is basically nothing. So, gentlemen, once again, if these women don't understand your purpose, then abuse is going to follow. And gentlemen, you are being abused over and over again, and everybody on planet Earth sees the abuse. But all of a sudden, when you try to break free, when you try to break out you try to break out of masses community, all of a sudden everybody wants to talk about you. Everybody wants to talk about you dating the white girl, and you're dating the Latina girl, and you're dating the girls from over there in Africa. You over here in Brazil, and you're in Colombia. Everybody's talking about you doing you. But when you were in the Communitah, what was happening? Nothing. Were you getting any cooperation? No. Did anybody invest in your dreams and your visions? No. I know what I'm talking about because I'm here. I'm living in it. But all of a sudden, you change your mind. You go elsewhere to deal with other groups of women. All of a sudden, people, oh my God, and oh, this and that and the third. And everybody's snotting and crying and belly aching. Oh, this and that and the third. And, oh man, what about the kids? Come on, man. Come on, gentlemen. Do you not see all this gaslighting, all this sorcery going on? This hypnosis. You gentlemen not see what's going on? Abuse after abuse after abuse after abuse, and these women are not letting up on their abuse. They're not letting up on the abuse. Every single day they abuse men, and they laugh and they joke about it, and they talk to the homegirl about abusing you, and it doesn't matter because it is you're just some Shih Tzu dog that's in her purse. You're a freaking tool that she wants to use, and once she's drained you dry, like the parrots, like mass majority of these women are parasites. So once she's drained you dry of your resources, she's gonna throw you out into the damn garbage heap with the rest of them old jokers. Gentlemen, I'm gonna say it again. If these women in the community don't understand the purpose of you, since the community doesn't understand the purpose of a man, this is where the abuse comes in. Every single time these women are abusing their so-called power over you, and they do it every single time. Some of you gentlemen right now are walking on eggshells because you say something crazy. These females are quick to call the damn police on you, knowing that knowing what the police can possibly do to you. These women are quick to call the police on you. No questions asked. The police are coming to arrest you for on some nonsense. Don't ask no questions. You already in handcuffs. Then they want to ask questions. Come on, gentlemen, man. You can't be in some matriarch community walking on eggshells. You gentlemen need to be free. This goes back to the Exodus, gentlemen. You need to be free. Now say it again. All of a sudden, now everybody wants to talk about, oh, why so-called Black American men dating Latinas? That's been going on for how long? Brothers been talking to Latinas. Like, why is this such a big thing now? Because Kevin Samuel says the enemy to the black woman is the Latina. Are you serious? Now everybody's on the brothers are dating Latina women. Like, this has been going on. Brothers, you got brothers heading out to Colombia, brothers heading out to Nicaragua and Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Brazil. All the brothers out spreading all out through South America. Like, this has been going on. When I was in New York, like that was like, listen, I'm gonna be honest. Like, when I was back in New York, like, you wanted a Puerto Rican girl. Like, yo, I thought Puerto Rican girls was hot back when I was back home, back in Rochester. I even told my mom. My mom was like, "Oh, what kind of woman do you want?" I was like, I told her straight to her face, I want a Puerto Rican. She was like, "Why do you want a Puerto Rican?" I was like, "I like their, I like their skin complexion. I like they're very nice and this, that, and the third." I told my mother to her face, I wanted a Puerto Rican. My mom is same complexion as me. She was like, "Don't you want a dark skin?" I was like, "No, I want a Puerto Rican." She was hurt. She was hurt. Told my aunts and all them, "Oh, he wasn't Puerto Rican." Like, yeah, I want me a Puerto Rican. Cause that was we were listen on my street in my neighborhood. There was Puerto Ricans everywhere. And you guys know from New York. Listen, you knew the so called the American black woman was hood. Shoot, back in the 80s and 90s, you guys were acting crazy. So it was like, well, hell, let me break away from the nonsense. Let's give me a Latina. Let me give me a Puerto Rican chick. That was the move. Not Puerto Rican girl. There were Indian women. There was, of course, there was white girls out there. I mean, there was like I don't understand. Like brothers had options, but now all of a sudden it's just like everybody's focusing on so-called black men dating Latino women. Like what? Like come on, man. Like gentlemen, be free. Be free. Break away from the bondage. Break away from the abuse, and you gentlemen need to be free. You gentlemen need to be free. Now here's the thing I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna say you go over here to these other groups of women and they're so much better than the ABW. I don't say all that. I don't do all that. That's just not me. Because listen, you gentlemen, you can go anywhere and you can have the same spirited women and these other groups of women. Like I said before, you guys can go to a China and get you a Chinese Keisha. You can go to Nicaragua and get you a Latina Keisha. That doesn't matter. Keisha, Taquana, LaRonda, and them are all over the platform called Earth. So don't get it twisted. I'm not gonna put women above each other. I'm not gonna do that. I don't do that. But what I am saying is, gentlemen, you are free to move about this whole planet. You are not. You should not be. You should not be ashamed because you connect yourself to whatever group of people and whatever group of women you talking to. I don't. You shouldn't be bound to one particular group of people. It doesn't make sense because when the females complain about you dating whoever, nobody says anything about them dating whoever. Nobody says anything. No so-called African American man is out here making videos. Oh, the so-called black American black woman is dating Latino men. American black woman is out here dating white men and dating Indian men and dating Arab men. Nobody says anything. Nobody cares. But as soon as we do it, all of a sudden it makes it's on the streets of YouTube and it's mainstream and it's like when brothers finally free themselves, get on their purpose and their vision and get on their productivity and disconnect from the community and go out here into this world and making an impact on this platform called Earth. All of a sudden, everybody has something to say. But ladies, when we were in your presence, when we were in your community, what you do? You abused. You abused. You were constantly abusing, constantly threatening, constantly hitting somebody, constantly doing this verbal abuse, all types of stuff. You were just abuse after abuse after abuse, and to a point, brothers just got used to the abuse. It is so you saying something crazy out your mouth, some other group of men would look at you like, what the hell? But us, we just gotten used to it. Oh, that's all. Keisha just saying whatever, man. That's what she does. Abuse after abuse after abuse, and some of us is like, yo, f that. I'm not gonna sit here and keep getting abused by these women. All because my grandfather says I need to be a man. Man, shut the hell up with all that. Nobody wants to hear all that old stuff no more. Nobody wants to hear what your grandfather and great grandfather. Man, nobody's listening to none of that stuff no more. Brothers want to be appreciated for just being a freaking man. How hard is that just to show appreciation that I'm a man, that and you're appreciating me because I'm different. Appreciate me that I have dreams. Appreciate me that I am working towards something. Appreciate me because I'm trying to build something that I can give to my children or can give to other children. I'm building platforms from other children. That should be appreciated. But that's not happening in the community. It might be happening a little bit, but it's not happening. It's not compared to a lot of other communities I've seen. Nah, man, listen, man, get appreciated. Listen. I can't say men damn near worship, but men are appreciated in a lot of other communities outside the community. I told you guys I spent almost 6.5 years in Japan. Men are definitely appreciated like crazy over in Japan. There is no talking back when I was in Japan. There is no there is none of that stuff. When I was over in Japan, when I was in Kuwait, I've been to Kuwait 3 times. I was in Qatar 3 times. Them women ain't over there. Ain't none of that stuff going on. Been to Korea, China, Ireland, Germany. Man, I've been to all these different countries. Ain't none of that stuff going on in these different countries. But in the community, it's like a prerequisite. It's like these women. That's it. These women have to show you what time they on. They gotta come at you and be cussing you out and smacking you around. And these women talking about some. Oh, well, if he don't manhandle me, I don't feel like that's a true relationship and all this stuff. Gentlemen, nobody has time for this riff raff no more. If they're gonna talk about you, gentlemen, let them talk about you. You go out here and gentlemen, you connect yourself. Well, hell, let people connect themselves to you. That's what I'm gonna do. Listen, I'm gonna listen after I leave this situation with this female here. Listen, I'm going to connect myself. Well, whoever gonna connect themselves to me, because I got a lot of stuff going on. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm being productive. See, once I'm being productive, then it makes me exclusive. I told you that impact. When you production equals impact equals exclusive equals that high value you guys keep talking about. But anyways, man, going back to the top, gentlemen, yeah, if the community doesn't understand your purpose of who you are and what you represent, and all this time you've been taking this abuse, and you probably didn't even know it was abuse until you step outside the community and you look back and be like, yeah, man, I was getting abused like crazy. You got everybody wanting you to do something. You sitting up in the neighborhood, everybody wants you to do this and do that and do this and do that. But the community is not coming to you asking what they need. What can we do for you? You need to make the basketball team. You need to make the football team. You need to make this AAU team for the community. But the community is not asking what can they do for you. These matriarchal women ain't asking how can they serve you and help you to get to the next level. These women don't care. And it's okay. But yeah, young brothers, you listen, man. You guys need to listen up, man. Listen to myself and the OGs that's spitting this game to you. You gentlemen need to listen. There's you ain't gotta be. You can be whoever you want to be. You don't have to keep playing some football and basketball, and you got to be a man. You got to be manly man and sell drugs and all that dumb stuff, gentlemen. No, I want to see you brothers live and live abundantly. You ain't got to do that nigga shit no more. Because this is what the community wants you to do. Hell no. You ain't gotta be somebody's jigaboo. You ain't gotta be dancing around and somebody's laughing stock, man. No, we're not playing them games no more. You gentlemen come out here in this world and you be free. Connect yourself, let people connect themselves to you because you a man of standard. You got standards. You got a vision. You got an SOP. You got purpose of why you even exist. And your existence has nothing to do with no community. So you gentlemen go out here and you be the greatest version of yourself and stop accepting this abuse. This abuse has to stop, and you gentlemen have to put a stop to it. Go out here in this world and be the greatest version of you. And let your light so shine. All right, gentlemen. Like, share, and subscribe. Please hit the cash out, man. Help a brother out. Help a brother out. Go to my website, man. 1247clothing.com, man. You guys get some merch, man. I got some good stuff. Got some stuff for my kids. My kids up there. But yeah, man, hit the cash app, please. Any donation will greatly be appreciated. Peace.